Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I have been traveling to India and it was the most fantastic trip in such a long time, and really something I wasn't I went into going to India not really planning too much ahead. It was more it was more of a work trip, and also I was visiting family, but it ended up being so insightful and just so amazing. I felt like, especially when you go to a certain place after doing a lot of healing and being on this spiritual self-improvement kind of journey, and you go back to certain places, you know, where you were before, and you feel like you're just no longer triggered or anything, and you accept people, you empathize with different points of views. That way of living in life is just so amazing. And I found that when I went back there, especially just how I relate in different situations, how I relate to different people. And I must say, I want to go back again at some point too. It was very, very hot, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I almost didn't want to come back, to be honest. And that rarely happens on a holiday. You know, normally you're like, yeah, you know, I want to go back at some point. But at this time I didn't, because it wasn't really a holiday. It was it was more of a work trip, and I really enjoyed it. But we are here for a reading, so I am feeling refreshed, energized, and I'm dressed actually quite summery when in England. I'm just moving the table down. Whereas in England right now, it's not summer at all. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think my headspace is still back in India, whereas here it's cold. But we cannot change that, and I'm gonna dress how I want to dress. Anyway, so let's get on with the reading. So I have some cards here right now, which is, what is this deck called? I think it's called Cosmic Witch, no, Modern Witch Tarot. This is in German, but I will state the name of the cards in English. I got it when I used to live in Germany, and it's a nice memorabilia from there that I've got. So let's see what's coming in next week. I really missed doing this. I really missed doing online readings, and I wanted to film in India. I just never really got round to. There were also power cuts. Electricity kept going at certain points, which I'm so grateful for now. How good we have it in other parts of the world too. So yeah, so that's something I really did see. Okay, so I just shuffle the cards. Let's see. All right, a bunch of cards flipped out. Okay. All right. Everything is in reverse, which is so interesting. Okay. Two of Cups, but we got it in reverse. Okay, so Two of Cups is normally a card of a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic, but some sort of a relationship, a coming together of some sort. It's even in a deep friendship. If you believe in the idea of soulmates or that sort of thing, then it's more of that. You know, you just kind of connect with certain people without even knowing it. And this card to me indicates maybe you haven't had that in a long time. This is something you haven't had in so long, and it's something you're really wanting. Just that conversation, you know, just the conversation, the soul tribe, the connection with someone, certain people. It's that kind of vibe. You're kind of wanting that so much, but it hasn't happened in a long time, where you haven't had that deep connection with someone. Yeah, so this is what you're wanting. This is the Devil reversed, and if you can see here, and the Devil reversed actually doesn't necessarily, or the Devil card itself means that, you know, some sort of patterns, addictions, and you're all stuck in some sort of ways, previous ways. Perhaps you're stuck in like with certain dynamics, thought patterns. And this is a certain type of addiction that you had to thought patterns, maybe. You know, every time you start to meet someone, have a connection, soul connection, even romantic one, you start to immediately give a lot more, try to impress the person, or try and like especially if you are the feminine, you know, you're meant to relax a little bit, especially if you resonate more with that. Now, I don't mean female and male, I just mean someone who is a bit more in the feminine side, and you reside in your feminine, where you let things come to you more so than just going out there and getting things done. And I think this is what it is. So there's some sort of a pattern. If you can identify that this week, this is going to really help you, because that is blocking a kind of a higher level, perhaps partnership, a person who is meant to enter your life, who will be more aligned to you, but it's because you are emotionally investing before they even deserve it, which repels them. Yeah, so that's what it is saying. You are emotionally investing into certain people. Maybe you're fantasizing a certain relationship which didn't work out, or maybe you're fantasizing about a certain person who actually isn't in your life, and you're creating certain scenarios in your head. That's emotional investment before an actual like getting the full picture. You need the full picture in order to understand what the person is about. This is especially true if you are dating in romantic relationship, or even if you are rejecting certain people who are trying to enter your life because you are hung up on this idea of this other person who you actually didn't have the entire data on to make sense of like what they're all about. You had certain data that was presented to you, and then maybe either the relationship suddenly ended, or maybe you just never, I don't know, for some reason, or they ghosted you. Yeah, that's one of the things, ghosted you, or something, it just didn't happen, which leaves a gap in our mind, because we got to experience the good parts, and you don't get to experience necessarily the entire picture. So what your mind is doing is creating a story based on those lack of data that you have, and creating a story which is so amplified in your mind now that you are finding it really hard to step away from that situation and into anything else. And that's the danger of it. That's why there are so many dating coaches online right now on YouTube. There's a whole range of like videos which are talking about this entire thing. So many relationship coaches are out there, because the consequences of emotionally investing before you have actually the full picture are can be quite what's the word? Really quite bad, actually, because it can cause a delay in your years. Maybe a relationship that may have wanted to occur earlier on occurs much later on into your life, or you know, that causes the right people perhaps to like move out of your life too. So that is something to bear in mind. Yep, this is entirely based on this reading is about a certain relationship, and it is entirely based on a certain fantasizing about a specific person that you have got in your mind, which is blocking this emperor figure, which is what you're wanting actually. And then Page of Cups here. Yeah, this card is normally all about, again, this is reversed too, it's all about like fantasizing and dreaming, which can be a great phase in your life if you're trying to manifest something. However, Page of Cups, I often associate this card with an offer as well. It's like a surprise offer here that I associate with. But that is being blocked blocked actually, and it's being blocked because you are stuck and hung up on a specific person. You're fantasizing about them too much. Okay, so we get the message of this reading, which is that you are hung up on a certain relationship or a certain person which you did not get closure from, and it's just blocking you from actually getting the dream relationship and the person that you're wanting. And how do we resolve that? Well, there are several ways. I will ask the cards, but I want to mention something that when I was I think it was in my early 20s, when this kind of thing happened, I doubled down on my work and I made my work goals the priority. And that, whilst I don't know still if that is the best way to do it, because those inner feelings sometimes still stay unresolved, and that's why you need healing work, you need nervous system work, because you're not addressing the situation, you're just putting your energy into something else, right? You're putting it into your work goals and generating money, which is a great thing, but sometimes that can still remain the kind of like the lack of closure in some way. So what do you do in that situation? You give yourself the closure. If someone is not present in your life right now and you're thinking about them a lot, but they're not present in your life, that is a closure in itself. It means that, and again, this is not for all situations, but for most situations this will be true, especially indicated on this reading. Even if you want them back in your life, or if you want a certain person, like a specific person into your life, you will still have to do the same work. And how do you do that? Well, first thing, trust that the right person or the right thing, the right kind of relationship that you're wanting, you would have it if you weren't hung up on that person, because you're wanting that thing, the entire thing, from that one person. It's not becoming available to you, which means that you're blocking it entirely. Whereas if you make your lifestyle and the relationship your goal, what do you want to experience later into when you're in a relationship, the goal, rather than the actual person themselves, this is going to really help you to be forward thinking rather than going backwards and thinking in the past. And we don't go backwards. Even if something was great in the past, we still cannot go backwards, because it was great in the past until that point. I right now in my life, like, I know a lot of people reminisce about their olden days, their school days, how great they were. I've never felt that way, never. This day right now, and I'm pretty sure I recorded a reading saying the exact same thing in that like a couple of weeks ago. This day right now is the most amazing day right now. You know, I never try to look into the past and see which day was great. Today is great. Right now, this moment, getting to do my readings is the best thing that I am doing, and I love it. And I love that I could travel, and I love that I could do all those things. So it's a certain mindset shift. Even if that person is on your mind, you can either distract yourself by focusing on the entirely different things, which are your work and your money goals. Are they on top of things? You know, you got to check those things as well. Are you on top of those goals? Are you on top of your career goals? Are you on top of your health goals? How is your how is your health, and where do you want to go? So it's time to focus on that right now. There is a second option, which is you could go to a healer and really address the issue, and they may tell you that it stems from something from childhood, it stems from a certain pattern from childhood, which may help you find the closure, if that is something you really want. In that case, I recommend you to go to a healer, Reiki healer, or energy, someone who does energy work. I will put up separate recommendations if that's something you would really like, but I highly encourage you to pick one of those two options. If you're short of money, focus on the money goals. Don't go to a healer just yet. You need to get your money right before you go to a healer to address certain issues. And then once you have that, then you can go to the healer and address how to get the closure in your, and getting that nervous system work done. I've had that nervous system work done, but I really did it once I had the time, the capacity, and the money to do it. And it's sometimes we just have to put up with certain things until we can move to the next stage. And that's what you may have to do. Have a strategy. All right, so let's get a few more cards on that topic, but that is your next course of action, what you're meant to do. Don't go spending on some random things, because that's very easy when you're stressed and you're like thinking and fantasizing about someone who's not in your life right now. We focus on what is happening in our life, and when it's time to create, we dedicate that time for creation and not let it be scattered focus. It needs to be directed focus. Okay, amazing. The exact card I thought we were going to get, which is the Queen of Swords. It's time to be a bit of cutthroat kind of a person. What I mean by that is you are kind of like very direct with certain things. Again, there may be, you may have to use your discernment what situation calls for that. Not every situation is going to call you for your directness, but you will have to have self-discipline. And that's what Queen of Swords is all about, self-discipline. Watch out for who you're hanging around with, the people that you're surrounded by. What are they like? Are they always talking about other people, other relationships, or are they talking about their goals? Because if they are talking about their goals, then that's a very good crowd to hang around. And if they are striving towards the goals that you're wanting, is it the crowd that you personally want to be associated with, or not so much? Have a think about that, and that's what you're working on next, where you want to go, where you want to step over. Choose wisely where your focus is directed. This is the message of this reading. Choose wisely where your focus is directed. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. I love the nails. Yeah. Choose your, especially if you are struggling with money, choose to direct your focus into the right thing. Yeah, Queen of Swords is very cutthroat, very much knows what they want. It's time to even create like not a list, but like in a notebook. It's time to really create that vision and what you're trying to manifest, especially if it's something that you haven't had before. That's going to require way more focus than anything else. If it's something you're manifesting brand new, say like you have previously manifested like a very nice house in the past, if you're wanting to manifest a house now, it will be a bit easier because you know the kind of like the base structure is just now working on your belief system and expanding your mind to the next level so you can allow in something bigger. Maybe now you want a mansion. Before you were kind of looking at just base level, now it's a mansion. So it's that kind of thing, if that's what you're wanting. But if it's something brand new, say like you are calling in the most amazing relationship, partner, long-term kind of thing, and you've never had that, you've never had that before, this is going to require a certain focus. Not focus like, okay, I'm going to go and do this. It's more like, I know what I want, and you just will be presented by the universe certain situations where you are just going to have to say no, and that's all you have to do. And if you say yes to certain things, that would mean that you don't feel worthy of like the next thing, or don't feel worthy that like the next thing can actually help you, or can get you closer to what you truly want. So that is more of inner work. And if you want to get more inner work, this is where you can work with a coach, mindset coach, holistic coaches, and you can book a session with them. There are plenty of coaches out there. Select one that you vibe with the most. You can also contact me. I'm also starting more sessions now, and yeah, so this is something you want to be mindful about. Okay, let's get last few cards. We're already past 21 minutes. Oh god. Perfect. Okay. King of Cups. King of Cups. Balance your emotions. You need to master them. It's a reiterated message. The message is stop letting your emotions lead you. It's time to lead yourself by your vision. And that's what we got next as well. Wands. Two of Wands. This is a vision card. This is a planning card. What are you wanting next? And you've got goals to go for, right? So it's time to focus on them. What are you wanting next? Your focus should be much more so on that than anything else, anyone from the past, any person from the past. No, it should be on you're being led by your vision. Okay, so it's time to get clear on your vision, get your maybe it's a great time even to get your vision boards updated if you do that sort of thing, or Pinterest. I always look at Pinterest and like try and create what I want and what I want to next manifest and that sort of thing. So this is a call for you to do that too. All right, last couple of messages. This deck is called Inquire Within, and I'm gonna get some cards now. Seeing things for what they are. Yeah, seeing things for what they are, not what your fantasy mind is telling you. Your fantasizing mind is actually procrastinating and trying to help you, is trying to help you to feel good, because you're feeling quite not good. When you are in certain financial worries, health worries, or something like that, one way out of that to soothe yourself is to fantasize about a certain relationship, or even if you're grieving certain past relationship in a way, and that fantasizing is actually there to soothe you, to make you feel better. However, that works right after a breakup or something like that, maybe for a couple of days. But if it's happening years, months, I don't know, still happening, then it's time to move on from that. See things for how they are. Remember, is that person in your life right now? Do they have a cell phone? If they do, then they can be in your life, but they are choosing not to be in your life. So this is really something to really take with you this week, because you can make a difference and you can focus on what you're wanting way more than any other person. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I think the messages were so clear, and it's so good to be back, and I will see you in the next reading.